A good afternoon from Joplin, Missouri, as pool play continues in the 2016 ACCA Volleyball National Championship. You see, Pool A already got underway with Randall defeating Ozark in the first match. Now we're on to second match, and we move to Pool B. It's the Arlington Baptist Patriots, the two-time defending champions, taking on the Calvary Lady Warriors. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. Let's meet the starters for both of these teams. We start with the number 6 seed, Calvary. The Lady Warriors head coach is Jeanette Reiger in her 21st season. They come in at 8-8 on the season, and they start this way. Number 6, Angelina Chase, 5'10 freshman from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Also starting today, number 12, Kayla Gingrich, 5'8 freshman from Lee's Summit, Missouri. Number 21, Tasha Crane, a 5'11 junior from Langdon, North Dakota. Number 11, CJ Lewallen, a 5'5 junior from Goodland, Kansas. Number 14, Lisa Rensberger, 5'6 sophomore from Buchanan, Michigan. And the libero is number 3, Paige Specht, 5'5 junior from Sheridan Lake, Colorado. Starting today for Christy McDaniel and the Arlington Baptist Patriots, the 2 seed coming in at 15-14 on the season. Number 2, Sierra Cheadle, a sophomore from Coopers Grove, Texas. Number 3, Maddie Smith, junior from Palmer, Texas. Number 5, Jahea Softly, freshman from Sherman, Texas. Number 8, Haley Myers, a freshman from Alvarado, Texas. Number 9, Katrina Hughes, a freshman from Norfolk, Nebraska. And number 13, Jacqueline Wells, freshman from Melbourne, Florida. The libero for Arlington, number 4, Madison Wiltshire. The Patriots are 15-14. Calvary 8-8 on the season. Arlington winning this tournament last year, also in 2014 and in 2012. So they've won 3 out of 4. Randall already winning, as you see there on your screen, and Arlington trying to start things off with a victory as well. Well, you can see it on your scoreboard. ACCA Sports. Use it on Twitter, use it on Facebook, use it on Instagram, and chat with us during today's broadcast. We'd love for you to be a part of it. The Arlington faithful is always in force, no matter what sport we're doing, and I see one fan already out there rooting on the Patriots, so you can join that fan from whatever school you're rooting for. It will be the Lady Warriors to start things off. It's Angelina Chase, the freshman from Minnesota, to serve as we're underway here in this second match. And the first point belongs to the Lady Warriors. Good play on the front, the middle hitter, Crane. Again, Chase with the serve, and that's going to be served and hit out of bounds by Hughes. So 2-0 in favor of the Lady Warriors. Calvary from Kansas City, Missouri. Arlington from Arlington, Texas. A little tap over from the middle. Maddie Smith with the kill as Arlington gets on the board. Arlington losing in the region final last weekend to Randall in 4 sets. Sarah Cheadle, 11 aces during the season. She'll serve and misplaying it. The libero, Paige Specht, the junior. That evens us at 2 here in this opening set. Sierra Cheadle, a sophomore. That time played well by Specht. Hit over by Calvary, received by Cheadle. The set to the near side, swinging on it softly with the hit, and she has the kill as the Lady Warriors unable to come up with it. First meeting between these two teams this season. Cheadle. Specht got there first again. The hit and a miss hit by Cron. 4-2 in favor of Arlington. Sarah Cheadle still serving as Arlington has rattled off 4 straight. From the back row, this is Lewallen. Set up and dump over by Softly for Arlington. Now the set by Splitter, and Gingrich with the hit. Foul on the Patriots, though. And now it's Calvary's serve with the point. Kayla Gingrich will serve, the freshman. The libero, Wiltshire, coming up with it Big hit by Jacqueline Wells. And Wells picking up her first kill. Came in with 257, 2.5 per set. Softly comes back in for Hughes for Arlington. Received by Rensberger. On the left side, it's Llewellyn hitting it too strong. Arlington doubling up. Calvary 6-3. It's a new look for Arlington. Several freshmen. The dump by Cron. Getting their spect. Cron tries it again, keeping it alive to libero Wiltshire, and it's sent over by Smith. Maddie Smith, one of the few returners for Arlington. Here's a big hit by Wells. Trying for the block was Splitter, and also Cron couldn't come up with it, and it's 7-3 now, Arlington. Maddie Smith, 29 aces, but commits the service error there as she serves it into the net, 7-4 Arlington. Alyssa Splitter will serve now. She's a junior from Colorado. Splitter and Specht, both from that Sheridan Lake area. Big hit by Cron. Arlington able to come up with it, and then a double hit is called on Calvary. So that makes it 8-4. Let me correct the score there. Jamie Gibson on the serve. 40 aces for the sophomore from Burleson, Texas. The set to Shelby Young. The dig by Wiltshire. From the back row, Ferguson hitting it too strong and out of bounds. 8-5. Cron will serve now. Diving for it, unable to come up with it was Gibson. So the ace to Calvary and Cron. Cron the jump serve. Set up by Myers on the near side. That's Wells with the kill. Jacqueline Wells, one of those freshmen we were telling you about. 9-6 now in favor of Arlington with Madison Wiltshire serving. Got there first was Cron. From the right side, Llewellyn. Little tap behind the back tap over by Myers. That makes it 10-6 now, Arlington. Folks, we're streaming today's game in HD. If you have a decent internet connection and the HD doesn't automatically load on the YouTube player, just click that little sprocket there and you can stream. Shelby Young dumps it over. It's set up now for Ricard. Emma Ricard comes in, picks up a kill. She had 103 during the season. She's got one here this afternoon. Wiltshire still serving now for the Patriots. And unable to make a play on it, C.J. Llewellyn. Arlington now doubling up Calvary, and Coach Raggart calls for time for the Lady Warriors. So we'll step aside for a minute and come right back as we take a look at the All-Americans in the ACCA volleyball tournament. Hey, congratulations to all of those ladies. We'll take a look at the scholar athletes for the ACCA fall for volleyball and soccer. Krishima, glad to be back with you. We'll do that at our next break out of the timeout. 12-6 Arlington. Arlington on the serve. Madison Wiltshire hits it into the net, so the service error makes it 12-7 now. And it's C.J. Llewellyn who will serve. the junior. Getting their first Gibson. Set on the near side, Ricard. Cross court. Calvary unable to get it over in 3 tries. Arlington leading by 6 again. Chris Sheeman here with you. I'd love to hear from you on Twitter. Use the hashtag ACCA Sports. We changed it up a little bit this year. Softly serving. Hitting that right out of bounds. Correction, that was Ricard with the serve. So the error to her. And it's 13-8 now. Shelby Young will serve now. She's from St. Louis. Their first was Hughes. Diving for it, unable to come up with it, was Cheadle over on the far side of your screen. 13-9 now. Arlington leading by 4. Second of 4 matches here today. Wiltshire gets there first, set to Cheadle from the middle, and that's out of bounds. Calvary closing the gap, 13-10. Shelby Young again. Hughes got there first, the set to Smith, and Smith picking up the kill. Arlington by 4. Maddie Smith. Cheadle, and I believe those are the only 2 players from last year's ACCA championship. Haley Myers to serve, 19 aces during the season, able to hit it over. Libero Speck gets there first, and it was blocked back on Chase hit. Cheadle and Smith softly on that front line as well. Myers still serving. Getting there first, Cron. The set to the near side. Gingrich with the hit. The dig by Wiltshire. And the dump over attempt by Softly comes up short of the net. 15-11. Arlington, much like the 1 seed Randall, a tough schedule this season. 12 regular season opponents had winning records. Arlington went 3-9 against teams over 500. Swinging on a big hit, Smith with the kill. They won 3 of 4 to close the regular season, though. In the NCCAA regional, they won 2 and then lost in the final. Good block team effort there from Softly and Smith. 17-11 now in favor of Arlington. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you here in Joplin, our second of 4 matches here on day 1 of pool play. We're in Pool B right now. The 2 and 6 seeds. Another block by Softly winds up with a point for Arlington. Sierra Cheadle serving. 11 aces during the season, received by Specht. Set on the far side, Gingrich sent right back over by Cheadle, and she picks up the point. Calvary not ready for that one. It's Arlington by 8. Calvary will call for time. So we will step aside, take a look at the scholar athletes for both volleyball and soccer here in the ACCA this fall. First set, it's Arlington by 9. First match in Pool B. This is the 2-6 matchup. Arlington, the 2 seed. Calvary, the 6 seed. Cheadle still serving, and she's going to pick up an ace there as Arlington gets point number 20. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you here in Joplin. Our 3rd year doing the volleyball tournament. Mishit by Gingrich, and she knew it immediately. The lead is 10 now for Arlington. Sierra Cheadle serving up some bullets. The set on the near side, Cron hits it out of bounds. And Arlington starting to pull away. 6-0 in last year's tournament, 4-0 in 2014 is Arlington as Splitter hits it short of the net. Arlington is 2 away from taking the first set. The last loss in this tournament for Arlington back in 2013 in the championship game. Looks like a double hit called on Arlington, so Calvary staying alive here. Serving now for the Warriors, Kayla Gingrich. And she commits the error, so service error makes it set point for Arlington. 24-12 they lead. Emma Ricard checking back in as Hughes hits the bench and Smith to serve. Getting their first Specht. The set to the near side. Llewellyn can't come up with it. Can't make a play for her team, and Arlington wins set 1 25-12. So we'll step aside for a couple of minutes and bring you the second set right after this. You're watching the 2016 ACCA Championships from Joplin, Missouri. We'll be right back. Chris Sheeman back here in Joplin. Arlington leading Calvary in the match, 1-0, winning the first set 25-12. Glad to be back with you. Again, use the hashtag ACCA Sports. Use it on Twitter, use it on Instagram, use it on Facebook, whatever. We'll find you. You can chat with me. You can chat with other fans, check in on scores all tournament long. Just use that. I got a question. Calvary's based in Kansas City, and that's my next destination. Saturday night, I'll be in Kansas City, and I was watching a cooking show. That's what I do with my free time. I watch cooking shows because I like to cook. It's fun. And I was watching a cooking show, and they were talking about burnt ends that look like the most delicious piece of meat in the world. And Folks in Kansas City, if you have any recommendations for good burnt-in restaurants there, I would love to hear them. ACCA Sports, use that hashtag, let me know. Underway here in the second set with Myers serving. Hitting it over was Cron as she picks up the, I thought she had the point, but she must have been hit out of bounds, they say. So 1-0 in favor of Arlington. Double hit, the call on Calvary there, so it's 2-0 quickly in favor of the Patriots. I don't know exactly what burnt ends are. They tried to explain it a little bit in the cooking show, but oh yeah, they look like something I want to eat. Cron picking up the kill, getting Calvary on the board. Calvary started with the first 2 points in the first set, then Arlington started to pull away late. They ended up winning 25-12. That's why they lead 1-0. Serving Gingrich. It's going to be a violation at the net. The lift called on Myers. So we are even Steven at 2 apiece here in set number 2. Gingrich again serving. Received by Smith. The set to the near side. Softly headed block back. Dumped over. Is it going to be out of bounds? It is. That was good play at the net. It was Splitter as well as Cron. So I thought it was out of bounds. It is. Yeah, we're right. So 3-3 is the correct score on your screen now. Cheadle will serve for Arlington here. That's going to go out of bounds. The service error puts Calvary back up 4-3. Splitter now. Alyssa Splitter, the junior from Sheridan Lake, Colorado. From the back row. Getting it over was Hughes. Sending it quickly back over, softly. For Arlington, Wiltshire get there first. Big hit by Wells, but it goes out of bounds. Calvary 5, Arlington 3. Splitter still serving. Getting there first was softly from the right side. It's Smith. The dig by Gingrich. Big hit by Llewellyn. It's going to be too big. Hits it out of bounds, 5-4. Emma Ricard coming back in for Arlington as Hughes goes to the bench and Maddie Smith serving. It's received by Specht. Big swing on it from Rensberger. Sent right back over. Back and forth now. Little tap by Ricard. It picks up the point for her team as Arlington evens things up at 5. Smith just clearing the net. Diving for it, Llewellyn. Double hit on Calvary there. Puts Arlington up 6-5. Manny Smith from Palmer, Texas. Specht. Double hit again on Calvary. So the Lady Warriors shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. Smith gets it over. Received by Specht. Big hit by Cron. Sent back over. Blocked back on the return by Ricard. Emma Ricard. 6 solo blocks on the season. Picking one up there. At the net, it just tapped right back. It was sent a little too far forward, and Wells was there along with Ricard. 9-5, Arlington by 4. Smith still serving. Specht there first. The set goes to Cron. Little dump. Diving for it, the libero Wiltshire. Big hit by Wells with another kill. Jacqueline Wells, a .300 attacking percentage. She's accurate, making it 10-5. We'll step aside for a minute. Come right back. That's right, folks. This year we're doing DVDs. There's how you can order them. DVDs, by the way, will help pay for my travel here, which cost a few $100. It's a long ride for me. So if you want a DVD, you'll get it in high def, and we'd appreciate it. Out of the timeout, Maddie Smith, the service ace. And Arlington on a roll here, leading 11-5. And the match overall, 1-0. Calvary, it was off the fingertips of Rensberger, just kind of hit it backwards. 12-5 now, Arlington by 7. Smith again, getting there first was Specht, hit it awkwardly, able to punch it over though. Smith got there first, little tap by Softly, who picks up the kill. Jeheza Softly, the freshman from Sherman, Texas, making it an 8-point advantage. 225 kills on the season for the freshman. Well, Arlington, they just rebuild and rebuild with so much talent every year. This is a new look team for the Patriots. I believe they called a lift on Calvary. Arlington on a roll right now with Smith serving, but that will go out of bounds. And the Lady Warriors trail now by 8. Tasha Cron will serve now from North Dakota. The set, tap by Softly, the dig by Rensberger, sent over quickly by Splitter. Now the setup for Wells, dig by Gingrich, dumped over. Good back and forth here by both of these teams. The set by Young, and that's going to be blocked back. LeWallen was there. I think Chase also had a hand on it. A couple of consecutive points now for the Lady Warriors. Cron is serving. That's going to go out of bounds. Arlington doing a good job. They kind of stay on the line, but make sure it was going out of bounds, but also being fairly confident in their decision. So Jamie Gibson to serve, 40 aces on the season. Steps up here. Received by Specht. Cron sets it up the back row. Chase hits it over. Little dump over again by Myers. So nifty how she does that kind of behind the back. It's deceptive. And it's worked a couple of times for the Patriots here this afternoon. Gibson again, this time into the net. 8th point for Calvary as they trail by 8. Gingrich returns, and it'll be LeWallen to serve now for Calvary. Set by Myers. Card had it blocked back. Rensberger and Chase, good play at the net. Angelina Chase, just a freshman. LeWallen serving it over, diving for it was Wilcher. From the back row, Gibson getting it over. The setup by Splitter for the middle. It's Chase on the hit. Set up to the far side, little tap by Wells. Nicely done. 17-9. Arlington trying to take a 2-set lead here. Madison Wilcher from Cayuga, Texas. And miscommunication there by Calvary gives her an ace. She had 23 during the regular season. Arlington once again doubling up Calvary. We will have a timeout, so we'll step aside for about 60 seconds. Come right back. 18-9. Arlington over Calvary here in this second set. It's Wilcher serving for the Patriots out of the timeout. Wilcher getting it over. Received by Cron. On the near side, Llewellyn. Correction, Rensberger with the hit as it was sent immediately back over. Cron booms it to Arlington's side. Now Cheadle. It was tipped by the blockers. And Cheadle able to pick up the kill. 19-9, 10-point advantage for Arlington. Wilcher. And a miss hit by Speck there. 11-point advantage for Arlington here in this second set. Trying to take a two-set advantage here in this second match of 4 here on day 1 of pool play. Received by Speck. The set. And Gingrich just missed it, I think. Arlington by 12. That's going to go out of bounds. Service error gives Calvary its 10th point. Calvary lost both matches in the MCCC tourney, Triple C we'll call it. That closed their season on October 22nd before coming here. So they've been off for a little while. They've had a pretty good year. Nice play there on the little tap by Chase to pick up a kill. If they can come from behind, though, they're undefeated in 5-set matches this season. They're 3-0. So it's a team that will fight. Right now, good back and forth here. Just getting it over was Ferguson, the freshman. Big hit by Gingrich. The dig by Ferguson on the near side. Cheadle with the little tap, found the empty spot and gets the kill, 22-11. Arlington's 3 points away now as Ferguson comes out. Manny Smith comes back in, and serving for the Patriots, Emma Ricard. Received by Specht. Served by Splitter. Cron from the back row, the dig by Ricard. Set by Myers, little tap by Cheadle, and players all over the place for Calvary, but nobody able to come up with it. Arlington 2 points away from taking a commanding 2-0 lead here in the match. Ricard again the serve, received by Cron. Big hit by Gingrich that goes out of bounds, and it's set point for Arlington, 24-11. They won the first set 25-12. Ricard again. First there, Cron. The setup for Gingrich. It's blocked back. Correction, it never cleared the net, so they hit it 4 times, and that'll wrap up game number 2. 25-11, your final here in this second set. And it's Arlington leading the match 2-0. We'll be right back in a couple of minutes with the third set. You're watching the 2016 ACCA Volleyball Tournament from Joplin. We're in Pool B. Arlington leading the match overall 2-0 as we go to the third set. You see Randall defeating Ozark earlier today, second of 4 matches here on day 1. So whoever finishes in third place in both of these pools will play in the 5th place game. That'll be tomorrow at 5:15. And then first or second, you'll have a chance to go to the championship. That will take place. That'll all be figured out on Saturday. Krishima, glad to be back with you here in Joplin as we continue on to set number 3. It will be Calvary who will serve first to get us going here in this third set, and for what the Lady Warriors hope is not the last set. It will be Angelina Chase to serve to start things off. A little pause at the beginning, but we're underway here in this third set. As Chase gets it over to set up now for Arlington. Ricard picking up the kill. Calvary started out strong in that first set, but Arlington just dominated. It was 5-5 at one point, and the final was 25-11 in favor of Arlington. Jacqueline Wells will serve. Wells gets it over, received by Specht. Set on the near side for Cron. Digging it, Wells. Set to Cheadle on the far side. The dig by Gingrich. Calvary able to get it over. Now Ricard had it blocked back. Good volley here between these two teams right now. It's Cron just dumping it over. Getting there first was Myers. Cheadle sends it over. The dig by Specht, the libero. Gingrich had it blocked back, and somehow Calvary able to get it over. Credit Splitter on that. Big hit by Cheadle, though, and eventually the point, a hard-earned point to Arlington. Jacqueline Wells continuing to serve. I mentioned it in the first set. A 300 attacking percentage. That is very good. The set to the back row. Specht sends it over. Received by Gibson. The set to Cheadle. Cheadle, it was inbounds. Nicely done by Cheadle. 3-0 in favor of Arlington. Arlington sends it over. A dump over by Cron. Did she keep it inbounds? No. 4-0. The only opponent in the ACCA that is giving Arlington problems this year was Randall. They lost twice to Randall this year. They're rolling right now against Calvary here in the opener. And obviously, if the seeding goes as it was written, it will be Randall and Arlington in the championship game. Of course, a lot to be decided, of course. I'm just saying if the seeding holds, that should be interesting. Nice block back by Calvary there. Cron was there, but unable to get to it. Gingrich that time, and Arlington out to a fast start. That'll send us to a timeout for Calvary. We'll step aside here and come right back. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. Arlington, 6-0 here in this third set. Make it 7-0 as Llewellyn hit it off her knee. So 7-0 now in favor of Arlington with Wells serving. That time Llewellyn able to get it, the set to Cron. Did she keep it in bounds? Yes, and a good hit by Cron. That gets Calvary on the board here. Serving now is Gingrich. Kayla Gingrich picking up the ace. Gingrich again, getting there first. Smith, set by Myers, and the hit by Ricard for the kill. Haley Myers, 784 assists, 7.5 per set, picks up one there. Ricard will serve now for Arlington. Getting there first, Speck, little dump over by Splitter. Set by Myers again, and unable to come up with the block was Cron. 9-2. The advantage is 7 here in the third set. Ricard again. Gingrich hits it first. Booming hit. Cross-court attack by Splitter for the kill. Alyssa Splitter will serve now after giving her team its third point. Received by Wilcher, who's come back on, the libero. Dumped over by Cheadle. Set by Cron. Young there first. Now Cheadle again for Arlington. Specht is there. Cron. And we got a double hit called on Arlington. So Calvary fell behind early, but they have started to claw their way back. 9-4 now. Splitter. Softly got there first. It's set up for Smith. The dig by Specht. The set goes to Llewellyn. Dig by Ricard. Here's Cheadle. Yes. Cheadle with the kill. 10-4. If you're just joining us, Arlington won 25-12 in the first set, 25-11 in the second. Right now, Haley Myers, 19 aces for the freshman. It's received by Llewellyn. Splitter setting it up for Cron. The dig by Softly. Here's Wilcher. Now Softly sends it over. Specht. Set up to Llewellyn, and Llewellyn picks up the kill. 10-5 now. And it will be Tasha Cron to serve, the junior. Cron sends it over. Myers there first. Myers with the setup to Smith, and Smith picks up the kill. Here's Cheadle serving now for the Patriots. And Calvary unable to do much with that as Chase couldn't get much lift to the ball, and it's a 7-point lead again for Arlington. Coming up next, we go back to Pool A. We'll have Welsh and Ozark, the host school. Ozark also losing earlier today. Good block team effort from Chase and Young, and it's 12-6. Katrina Hughes checking back in for the Patriots, replacing Cheadle. And serving now is Llewellyn for Calvary. Hughes, Wilcher now. Smith hits it over, too strong though. 7th point for Calvary as that goes out of bounds. Llewellyn. And Wilcher just getting it over. The setup by Splitter goes to Gingrich. It somehow come up with it was Smith. The set now to Wells. It's blocked back. Arlington stays with it, though, and Wilcher able to get it over. Splitter, the set, the hit by Chase, and Chase with the kill. 12-8. C.J. Llewellyn still serving from Goodland, Texas. Goodland, Texas. Goodland, Kansas. First one there is Hughes. It's set up for Smith, and Smith with a booming kill to make it a 5-point lead for Arlington. Arlington trying to win in 3 straight sets here. Smith with the serve. Boy, that just cleared a net. Splitter was alertly there. Chase hit it over. Set up by Softly, but a double hit, they say. 13-9. Shelby Young now, the sophomore from St. Louis, to serve for the Warriors. Oh, missed. 2 players going for it, and that never looks good. Bad communication on the back line there for Arlington, and it's 13-10 as Myers picks up the ace. Myers again. That's going to fall short of the net off of Ferguson. So Calvary gave up the first 6 points in this third set. They have come back and trail now by just 2 with the serve. The setup, Wells. Arlington unable to come up with the kill as Splitter able to get it over. Blocked back off the hand of Gingrich. Nicely done by Softly there. And that ends Calvary's run. Increases Arlington's lead back to 3, 14-11. Jamie Gibson serving. And that was a missed set there. 15-11 now. Gibson with the serve. There first, Cron. Cron from the back. The dig by Ferguson. The set by Myers. A little tap attempt by Wells, and it looks like they might have hit the net. So Arlington 16, Calvary 11. Here in this third set, we'll step aside with Arlington leading the overall match 2-0. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you. Arlington leading by 5 here in this third set, leading 2-0 overall in the match. A couple of Arlington folks on Twitter. My man, Rod Reed. We've been Twitter buddies for a while now. Mr. Basketball. Good to have you folks wherever you're from, wherever you're watching from. That is coming out of bounds over near me. So Arlington with the hit, and it's 16-12 now as that ball winds up in the broadcast booth. That's going to be a service error as Chase hit it into the net. Arlington by 5 again, just like that. Jacqueline Wells to serve. When Wells was serving in the last set, this is when Arlington really made that big run. Speck got there first. The set by Splitter. Big hit by Cron. And Arlington unable to come up with the block. Ricard and Cheadle were both there, but Calvary gets the point. Gingrich now to serve. Hughes coming back in for Arlington. She'll replace Cheadle. And some confusion over on Arlington's side, maybe about rotations or what have you. So just a little bit of a delay, might have been a wrong sub or something like that. That sounds like what it is, so we'll get that sorted out. And We'll remind you can order a DVD of this match, any of the other matches during this tournament. You can email me or you can go to PayPal on my website, chrisschiemann.com/ACCA. Give me some time to create it, but you'll have a nice DVD. It's $20, including shipping. That's anywhere in the United States. Good Christmas gift as well. Believe it or not, it's that time of the year again. Start thinking about it. Kayla Gingrich out of the timeout will serve with Calvary trailing by 4 as that sub stuff was sorted out. Ricard hitting it over. The setup now for Cron, who picks up the kill. Boy, she has played well here today. Tasha Cron, the junior, keeping her team in it. Gingrich still serving now for the Lady Warriors. And we have more conversation. So more conversation will lead us to take another short break here, and we'll come back in 30 seconds or so. Sit tight. Okay, once again, the issue is sorted out. Calvary trying to string some points together, work themselves back into this third set. That just clears the net. Cheadle the hit, and that's coming out of bounds. That'll be a kill for Cheadle. And it's a 4-point advantage again for Arlington. Chris Schiemann, glad to be back with you here in Joplin, our third year doing this volleyball tournament. Arlington has won both times. Trying for a three-peat here this year. Going to face some tough competition. Welsh is going to be fun to look at later on today, and Emmaus as well. That's going into the rafters. It's still in play, and not much you could do when it gets up there like that. So Arlington will pick up the point as it sails out of bounds, and Ricard will serve now for the Patriots. Received by Speck. The setup, Llewellyn. Cheadle with the dig. The set, Maddie Smith, beautifully done. Found the right angle. Arlington leads by 6. Ricard again. Getting there first, Gingrich. Specht. Now it's hit over by Splitter. Wilcher with the dig. The hit by Cheadle, and that's going to be blocked out of bounds. Splitter and Cron tried to make something happen there, but A for effort, point for Arlington. Ricard still serving. It's sent right back over. Alertly, Cheadle hit it over. Calvary was ready for it, and Cheadle somehow got it over, but it's going to go out of bounds. So Calvary picks up point 15, and they trail now by 6. Shelby Young comes back in for the Warriors, replacing Lisa Rensberger. Splitter with the serve. Wilcher there first. The set by Myers. Big hit and the kill for Maddie Smith. Arlington 3 points away from making it a 3-set sweep. Haley Myers serving now. Llewellyn, it's going to clear the net, and Smith was ready for it. Arlington a point away from a set point here. And a match point. Now it's Myers again. Able to get it over was Calvary, but Smith was waiting and salivating at the opportunity again. Now it's match point for Arlington. Looking to win their first in pool play. Myers, Young, Cheadle with the dig. Softly trying to close it out. Specht says but it's hit off of Young, and out of bounds. 25-15 your final here in the third set as Arlington wins in 3 straight. So Arlington 1-0 in Pool B, Calvary 0-1. You will see Calvary later on tonight as they will take on Emmaus at 7:15. Our next match will be over in Pool A at 5:30. It's Welsh taking on the host school Ozark. We will talk to you then. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day. And your final once again in 3 sets. It's Arlington winning their first here in pool play. We'll talk to you again in about 45 minutes.